My name's Chad Price, and I'm here to talk to you today about a situation that's really prevalent in the communities and in our lives that surround us, and also even in our churches. Domestic violence is like a cancer tumor that cannot be ignored as if it isn't there. It's got to be attacked. You've got to take the steps and use the right treatments to get rid of it. Domestic violence and the detrimental issues that come with that have to be attacked and have to be dealt with. And the three ways that I believe as a church body and as a community we can deal with those is marriage and family training. For marriage and family training, there are so many different counseling agencies that are out there. There are so many different community helps that are out there to help in those situations, to get the victims out of the situation, to get the help for the perpetrator. Greater church involvement is a second one. And we need to be equipping those church leaders so that those churches can become more involved. More responsibility from the Christian community as well. The Christian community not being silent about it. What does domestic violence do? Well, one, it prevents people from experiencing life as God intended it. It also causes a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and fear to be present, often holding the victim captive. And it robs the victim of real joy, and even the perpetrator. My credibility, I believe, comes in the fact that for my own life growing up, I experienced hearing stories about my mom's life growing up and the domestic violence that she faced. Her dad being an alcoholic, her mom being an alcoholic, her dad being a very violent alcoholic and taking that out on the family and on the kids and on his wife. I've also heard about it through stories with youth that I've worked with and with youth that I've been able to teach. I've dealt with the youth and counseling them through those domestic violence situations. I've also dealt with it in hearing stories about my wife's childhood and hearing stories about things that happened in her life through domestic violence and the situations that she was in. What can we do as a church? Well, marriage and family training is one of the biggest ways that we can help. Randy Bailey of Healthy Homes Counseling says that marriage is a place where two fulfill one another's lives intimately. The tragedy is when we forget who we are as a couple. Secondly, the church body needs to become more involved and equip its leaders. Chuck Colson has a article on religiontoday.com that says tragically studies reveal that spousal abuse is just as common in the church as it is outside of the church. He says that 25% of Christian homes experience some sort of domestic violence. Number 3, Christians must stop being silent. BlackWomen'sHealth.com gives several ways to speak out. Says that we need to speak out and speak up. That we need to quit hiding behind our doors, hiding behind the walls of our church, and actually start helping these victims and even helping the perpetrators. Says that one of the best ways that we can help in any domestic violence situation, especially so that we can remain anonymous, is to pick up a phone and dial 911. And that automatically gets the police involved, and you remain anonymous and nobody knows who's called the right authorities to be involved. So for yourselves, think about ways that you can get involved in your community. Think about ways that you can be involved in your church to help bring more awareness to the church body. And in your own life, think about different people that you know that may possibly be involved and may even be a victim that may need some help. And think about some ways that you can help them as well.